Welcome to Since Rookie Season.
Well, the summer before.
A heated rivalry fan companion podcast where your hosts, Amanda, Lau, and Lauren, break down the episodes from the Crave Canada television series, the Game Changers novels, and various media surrounding this fan phenomenon.
Today, we're looking at heated rivalry fanfics. Stay with us for some discussion on this branch of fandom with another new guest.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our conversation about fandom, our very timely conversation about fandom last week. This week, we are talking about my favorite subset of fandom, and honestly where a lot of my research lies, fanfiction. And our little special guest this week is friend of the podcast, and also co-host of the Pitt Crew podcast and the Puck Crew podcast, Mal!
Hello!
Hey, Mal!
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my god, thank you for coming.
Of course, I love to talk about fanfic. Like, I have been in those AO3 trenches since I was, 13 years old, so...
13! Oh my god, no. Have you ever looked at, what number your AO3 account is?
No, how do you see that?
If you go on your, profile on Archive of Our Own, on your dashboard, I think?
I know I didn't make an account until 2016, but...
Oh, and you know what? Same. Yeah, I didn't make one, but if you go to your profile, it tells you your user ID, which is, what your number is in invites on the website, of signing up for the website.
Oh, hold on.
Because I am number 652,869.
Whoa.
So I'm under 1 million.
Okay, why is my phone is okay, wait, if I go to, my profile?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I am not under 1 million. I am 2,485,618.
Heck yeah. Hell yeah.
I joined in October of 2016, but I was, lurking without an account for a while there.
Yes, I joined mid One Direction fever, so...
Okay, see, I was lurking without an account during the One Direction era, so...
No, period. Okay, so let's get to know you, Mal. Feel free to do name, pronouns if you'd like, anything else you want to share, and then how did you get into heated rivalry?
Well, my name is Mal. Pronouns, I don't know, she, her, she, they, I don't really care. And then how did I get into heated rivalry? Well, my co-host of the Pitt Crew and now Puck Crew, Camille, made myself and our other co-host Robert sit down with her on FaceTime and watch the first 3 episodes. This was right after they had come out. And I was I watched the first 2 episodes. I was like, Camille, I don't like this. It's I don't think they like each other. I don't like this at all. And then I watched episode 3 and I was like, fuck it, I'm locked in. And in between episode 3 and episode 4 coming out, I had read Game Changer, I'd read Heated Rivalry, and I'd read The Long Game. And then I was I was locked in. Once I was convinced that Shane and Ilya had feelings for each other, it was over for me. But
it was over.
After those first 2 episodes, I was like, this is making me sad. I don't know if I want these guys to be together.
No, literally. I watched the, first episode, and I, the ending happened, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched the second episode, and I was like, I'm fucking locked in. Let's go. This is it for me.
I love that Mal was texting everyone, why are you making me watch these 2 men be toxic to each other?
Yes. Yeah. I am gay in the other direction, so, if I'm gonna watch 2 men have sex, they also have to be in love. Because I'm not getting anything out of it, really.
No.
Fair.
So I'm kind of if I can't watch a cute little love story and, twirl my hair and kick my feet, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? For real. For real.
But, once we got to that point, I'm it's the love story of all time, actually, so.
Yeah.
For sure. And then you now have a podcast on it, so.
Sure do.
From hating it and not understanding why you were forced to watch it to having a podcast on it.
Well, and I feel people talk so much about episode 3 being the worst, and I'm no, guys, you don't understand. Episode 3, she's so special to me. Also because Scott and Kip are so lesbians coded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I was I feel seen by this closeted hockey player and his smoothie boy. So I love episode 3. Episode 3 had me locked in. So
no, we jokingly, I mean, everybody calls it the skip episode, and we jokingly said when we were recording about the skip episode. We were like, we should have just skipped this episode, but no, we have to pay homage to our gay elders. Like, come
Right.
on.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so lesbian coded. Like the U-hauling,
Oh my god, it's insane.
it's insane. But okay, so I mean, obviously, we're now addicted. So
Right.
our question that we've been trying to answer, like all quarter. Jesus Christ, can you tell I taught today?
Yes.
Our question that we've been trying to answer all season is, what do you like? Why is Heated Rivalry so addictive? Like, what is in it that makes it like have this much reheating, this much like fan convention around it, like this much fanfic? Like, I got onto the fanfic tag in like November, and I think there was like 2,000 fics, and now there's probably like over 25,000. Like, what do you think makes it so addictive?
I mean, I think the queer joy of it all. I mean, we're not watching a tragedy here. I mean, like, there are definitely parts that are hard and devastating and all the things. But ultimately, it is a story of love, and we know there's going to be a happily ever after at the end. We just have to work for it. And I think it's so human. I mean, like I said, I was like, I feel seen by this hockey man and his smoothie boy. Like, there's just so much that is relatable and really speaks to like the queer experience and like just the human experience in general. And so I think that's why people have latched on, because like these characters are relatable and lovely and fun. It's fun to play in this little like sandbox that Rachel Reed and Jacob Tierney have created.
We love the sandbox metaphor.
That's how I think about fan fiction. I'm like, we're just all playing in this sandbox, and it's my favorite thing to do.
Yes, it is one of the historical fan fiction metaphors, is that we're playing a sandbox. It actually comes from, I'm sure it comes from fans, but Henry Jenkins is like the scholar who like kind of coined it in his like work Textual Poachers. But yeah, it's definitely a very interesting space. So on this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about fan fiction in general, and then we all read the same fan fictions. Mal and I recommended 2, because on our Discord we have a Mal's fan fiction channel, and it's basically me and Mal just posting fan fictions back and forth all of the time.
And I feel like our tastes are so wildly different. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, I was reading, and I knew which one was recommended by who while reading. You know, like I was, oh, I'm in Lauren's territory right now. Oh, this is so Mal. I really enjoyed it. Before we continue, I just wanted to address that we have someone who's not here.
Oh, we haven't talked about Amanda yet.
Yeah,
Amanda is racing dildos right now. Amanda is
real.
playing
They
with
are
vibrators at the moment.
Not an innuendo. It's a
not an innuendo. Literally,
it's really what is going on.
Is literally at a vibrator race right now, but we love them dearly. They will be our voice note later on in this episode, possibly, maybe, if they ever send it to us. But we miss them very dearly, and we hope they're having fun with playing with their clit.
We do. Wish
really
them the best.
Wish them the best.
To be clear, it was for a charity. It was charity vibrator races. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Let's get into...
No, Lauren, I just wanted to share with the audience, like, what it is like to be the non-English speaker, like, you know, like the non-native English speaker in our chat, and receiving a message this morning saying, I won't be there tonight because I have a vibrator race.
Yes, and Lana was like, and what does that mean? And Amanda was like, exactly what it sounds like. And Lau was like,
no.
Masturbation?
Are you like having a competition to see who comes first or something?
Oh my god, to be extra clear, these were literal vibrator races at a bar, and I went with my friend who was moving away very soon. This was the last chance we could go to the vibrator races for charity. I'm very sorry I wasn't there. I have bad FOMO now about it, and I am catching strays. Thank you.
You know what? Like, in Chicago, we have turtle races at bars, which I think is like an animal cruelty thing. I don't really want to
as a vegan,
I
do not support. As a vegan, I don't support,
But I have been drunk and bet on a turtle before, so, you know. I don't support it, but I do support myself getting money.
I mean, right, did you win?
No, I did not. I don't think I did. I was drunk, so I can't remember.
Wow. You will definitely bet on a masturbation competition. I know.
Oh, absolutely. And I know which vibrators are the best on the market.
Same.
I'm gonna need you to send me a list. Thank you.
It's like the Jim Carrey typing meme.
Yeah.
Once again, I just want to say hi to Lauren's mom and dad who listen to us every single week.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hey!
Okay. Hi, Mom and Dad. Hello to all of our listeners. We're getting into it now. We're getting into fan fiction. Okay, so what is fan fiction? I'm gonna take this one because I can give you the fun answer, and I also can give you the scholarly side answer. So fan fiction is classified as, for legal reasons, it's classified as a transformative work, which is why the like OTW is called the Organization for Transformative Works, because in order for it to not be copyrighted and chased legally into oblivion like Anne Rice tried to do to us, you have to transform the plots or the characters or whatever a certain amount so it no longer truly represents the source material. It has to have like enough difference in order to qualify it as open use under copyright laws, which I know copyright laws in the United States are very different than copyright laws everywhere else. And this is the reason why Archive of Our Own isn't available in some places because of copyright issues, but also because of like political issues and things like that. Like Archive of Our Own, you can't access it in China. Crazy at all.
Huh.
But that is what fanfiction is. Fanfiction has so many genres. It has so many tropes. It has so many amazing parts to it. And I think one of the greatest things about fanfiction is that it is not the source material and you get to play with it.
Mm-hmm.
You get to make it completely different. And I think something that this fandom is maybe having a little bit of an issue with is that it, like, some people really want it to represent the canon material. Also, canon is like the original source text. We'll say that a lot. But I think there's so much fun in creating your own kind of world, doing something totally different, taking characters out of character and making them fanon representations, which is fan-made canon. And I think it's just a lot of fun. There is like so much different fanfiction. I mean, some fanfiction is explicit and it is porn without plot and you are just reading about them fucking. And then sometimes it is porn with plot and you read like a 480,000 word novel length Dostoevsky competitor and it's the greatest thing you've ever read in your entire life. And what do you guys have to add to those words of wisdom?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I love fanfiction so much. One of my favorite things to do after I encounter a piece of media that I really liked is like, oh, great, now I get to go on tumblr.com and I get to go on AO3 and I get to like reblog gift sets and I get to just like read fanfiction, and it's always very exciting. And
yes,
this is the most locked in on fanfiction I have been since probably college. So
okay.
I'm like thriving.
Okay.
I love that. We have seen you thrive, and we are all in our community very thankful for your service.
Yes. No, literally.
From a literature studies perspective, for those of you who listened to my conversation with Amanda about the Game Changers novel, you already know this, but I'm going to repeat it because I think it's a very valuable piece of information. Fanfiction has existed since literature began, right? So it might not have been called fanfiction, but if you read The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, it's basically fanfiction of the Bible, which is why what I love to discuss with my students. And it has like real people fan fiction on it. Dante is very petty, so you can tell who he hated because of who gets to be where in hell, purgatory, and heaven. He did dirty to his own mentor, putting him on the sodomites circle in hell while he was alive. He was alive, his mentor.
So funny.
Yeah. He does a lot of political commentary as well, so he puts very influential and powerful people in different circles of hell. And of course, behind all of this is his love for Beatrice, who died really young. It was his crush. he wrote a different book of poems to her about her, like his crush and how she died, and now he's devastated. And so he's like being guided through hell and purgatory by Virgilio, one of like his most appreciated writers. Like he loves Virgilio. But then when he gets to paradise, Beatrice is his new guide. And everything is just like to put himself at the center of this narrative as the witness to what waits for us after death, and through his eyes that are like sometimes, as I said, very petty, sometimes he's really compassionate. Like, yeah, it's exactly that, like it's self-insert. And I really love that because he really puts himself into, I love that he has the courage to paint himself as a very pathetic man sometimes. Like sometimes he's just terrified and he's just holding to Virgilio in terror. But he also experienced a lot of compassion for in the lovers circle, that the punishment is them being carried by wind because they were like they let their passions to carry them in life, so they have no control over their bodies. And he finds that so heartbreaking that he cries. So it is not like something we invented in the last 2 centuries. It's not something that has less value in literature. A lot of people in literary studies will study fan fiction.
Yeah, hello.
Not only in those texts that like the Divine Comedy became like canonized as part of like the biggest, most amazing works of literature, but also like more current fan fiction. So I just wanted to add that, you know, like you can trace people self-inserting themselves into stuff like divine scripture, like Dante did.
Yeah, I mean, I like in my master's degree when I first started researching fan fiction, I actually was like, I did a presentation where I was like arguing that fan fiction continues the oral storytelling tradition, which was like, you know, before we had printmakers, before we had like writing styles, we would tell stories orally, and then scribes would often write them down. But like what scribes would even do in like texts is they would like, if they disagreed with how the story was like written before, they would like change it, or they would like make their own notes, or they would like put marginalia in and like
make it an AU.
Yeah, they were literally making AUs. And like, you know, I mean, Archive of Our Own has only been around, it'll be 20 years in 2028, which is crazy.
Wow.
And I know a lot of the people who like conceived of Archive of Our Own, like personally, which is kind of also crazy. And so like, you know, this has been, I think, a really big thing. I just looked at how many fics I've read, because you have your whole history. I have 484 pages of history on Archive of Our Own.
I need to also look at that.
I've read about 10,700 fics on Archive of Our Own since 2014. And I mean, like, I've gone through so many fandoms and so many different things. Before I got on Archive of Our Own, I was on a different fanfiction platform called Quote Ev.
Oh my god, wait, me too!
Wait, no, because that's where all the One Direction fic was. Yes. And I was also on Wattpad, and I read the after like story as it was being published.
Oh no, me too. When that was coming out when I was in high school, and at the time I was in my high school's production of Legally Blonde, and we would sit in the dressing room and we would listen to like the leads on stage do their songs, and we, the ensemble, would be like, "Have you read After?" Like the
Have you read After? No, literally, like
I have 243 pages of history.
Okay. T, you gotta catch up.
I really do. I thought I read a lot of fanfic, but like, wow.
But no, it's like everybody is always like, "Do you read books?" And I'm like, "I read fan fiction."
Yeah.
So yeah, actually I do. But no, Lau is so right. Like the tradition of fan fiction stems, it's all through history. It's one of the reasons why I was like so interested in it, because it really like, I think there is like been a lot of commentary right now in the fandom about like the use of AI in fics. And like people are like, "Oh, I know this author's using AI. I know this author's using AI." But what you don't realize is that AI was, one, probably trained on fan fiction without us knowing. And two, it's been trained on like literature from forever, you know? And so like, of course we're pulling you know, things from books that we read and ideas that we have, and we might write similarly to other authors or other things. And so I think it's really hard, like, even as a professor, it's really hard for me to be like, this is AI, you know, unless it's like very blatant AI usage. And so I think like a lot of people are like calling out, I think a lot of people are calling out fics for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
That they don't need to be doing.
And they don't need to be doing. Like there is like currently this whole movement right now in the Heated Rivalry fandom where like people are commenting on bad fics and being like, this sucks.
Okay.
Like, bro, just
No,
close the tab.
there's a lot about the Heated Rivalry fandom that I keep seeing people talk about like, oh, it's baby's first fandom. Like there's a lot of people that are engaging with like fandom for the first time through Heated Rivalry, which is great. But sometimes I feel like it goes even beyond that, and it's kind of like baby's first day on Earth, because I'm like, why are you treating people like this?
Yeah, I was
No,
telling
literally.
Lauren in our last episode, Lauren was like, this fandom has a literacy issue. And I was like, not only this fandom, like, we have a crisis. And on the topic of AI, like, finding out something as made by AI or not, especially in literature. I mean, I have students that are not very clever on how they do this, so they like leave the prompt. You know, like, sure,
Right.
here is what you asked me. So that's easy. But I always, like, I coordinate a group of professors at the university where I work. And I continuously remind them that all the tools that claim to be able to tell you if a text is AI made or not, it's actually gonna flag neurodivergence a lot. Like, some people are gonna write in a way that is gonna get flagged as AI, and it's only because they have a different code in the way they engage with language. So usually you get a lot of autistic people being flagged just because they write.
Yeah, and like something we talk about a lot at my university is like, we're not even allowed, if we suspect a student of using AI, we're not allowed to run their work through an AI checker, because AI checkers hallucinate the results too. So like, you know, they say, oh, it's 90% AI, but that's probably not true, you know? So like, there's like that whole issue. There's the whole issue of like commenting on fics and just being rude, and like big names in fandom right now, like Opal, who's writing Wolfbird, are like stepping away from the fandom because they're just getting like fucking hounded by these people. Like, I have written fan fiction before, and I don't think I would ever write in this fandom because it's
terrifying.
It's terrifying.
I've got like a quarter of a fanfic that sometimes I'm like, that could, I could finish that. I could like post that, but then I just like see the way people are acting and I'm like, I don't think I would.
No, literally.
I think this is so detrimental to community and the opposite of what fandom is supposed to do. In a way, like, I feel like fandom is supposed to be a place where everyone can gather to discuss ideas and play in this sandbox. And the fact that people aren't comfortable sharing that anymore, or engaging with that, or like sharing their sandbox ideas, or like playing in the sandbox, so to speak, I think that's really sad and really affecting to the community. We'll probably talk about this more later, but I wanted to pop in and say that hearing them say this made me really sad, because that's not what community is for. That's not what community is meant to do, especially in a fandom space that we all share with something we love. That's kind of sad.
I was about to ask that. Do you write fanfiction? I haven't in decades, but Mal just mentioned.
Yeah,
doing
I wrote several Avatar: The Last Airbender fanfictions in the year 2021.
Yes.
I was big into Sokka and Zuko.
Of course, clearly. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, it's the correct option. Zutara, who?
I love Zutara. I'm sorry.
I love Zutara, but I.
But it's like Zutara if it was gay.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I actually, because I keep linking, I made like a hockey guide on Archive of Our Own, and I keep linking the podcast to it. So I went and orphaned all of my works on Archive of Our Own, which was like the saddest thing I've ever had to do.
Oh, no.
I didn't delete
That's
them.
so
They're
sad.
just orphaned.
Interjecting to say that orphaning a fic is like disowning them. So these fics are still on AO3, but they don't come up with that author anymore. It's different than being anonymous, because that is still linked to one person. These are just like free-floating fics that don't have a correlating author listed anymore.
I wrote for a really long time, not a really long time, like I would say like probably a good year in the Horizon Zero Dawn, like hetero fiction, but I also was writing like a lot of gay fan fiction there. I've written in the Witcher fandom, which was Jaskier Geralt, obviously. I did a Betty Jughead fic one time from Riverdale when Riverdale was popular. But yeah, I would say like the most works I did were in Horizon Zero Dawn. I like writing. It's just that like sometimes like I find as like a fanfiction writer, I'm very much like a one shot or like an AU kind of person. Like I don't usually write in the canon like universe. Like when I wrote a Jaskier Geralt fic that was Hamilton inspired, but it was like they were current
That's
day.
amazing.
Wow.
If I could go find it, I will send it to the but it was like a Jaskier was a current like a baby representative and Geralt was like an independent that was like old, and they had to like come together and do a bunch of stuff, but it had a bunch of Hamilton lyrics in it.
Incredible. A song fic?
And you know what? I also tend to write a lot of like them doing drugs kind of fics because I smoke a little weed every once in a while, and I find every once in a while, Mom, I find that a lot of people who write about smoking weed maybe don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
I can't believe people just like get on the internet and lie. That's crazy.
Crazy. You right now.
Can you imagine? No, really, I audio read the Casey I always struggle with her last name.
Casey McQuiston?
Yes. No. The
No?
co-host, the creator of Normal Gossip, the podcast, and she wrote this like, I will link it on the show notes, and said that you haven't listened to Normal Gossip.
No.
Dios mío. Okay, that's a great podcast. But she wrote this whole book about gossip, and she did a lot of research.
Yeah.
And she was talking about lying on the internet a lot, and about being on fandoms and writing fanfic, and how literature is fed by gossip, and all of that fascinating work. So yeah, imagine just lying in the internet, just like writing stuff that aren't real.
No, listen, you know a fic is good when you open it and the author's note is like, I'm in the middle of my PhD and I just had my comprehensive exams and this is at 3 a.m. and I haven't slept in 4 days and this came out of my body. And you're like, this is going to be the best fic I've ever read.
You're like, no, they wrote this with their soul and I thank them for
and
that.
I thank them for that. No. What do you usually write, Mal? Like, do you stick with like AUs or are you mostly canon?
I mostly write AUs.
Okay, T.
Yeah. But it also, like, it depends on the fandom. So I've only ever, like, actually written and posted fanfic for the Zuko fanfics, and then I also started and never finished a Persebeth fanfic.
Oh.
And the Zuka fanfics were all, like, modern AUs, and then the Persebeth fanfic I did, like, in canon universe, and I think it's just because, like, I've never been to Camp Half-Blood, but, like, I know my way around, like, that's just a universe that feels like home to me, and I was like, I want to play in this particular sandbox, so, you know, it's kind of all over the place, but I think, like, the Heated Rivalry fanfic that I have started is in canon universe, but it is a soulmate AU. I'm such a slut for a soulmate AU. Romanticism of, like, there being someone who's, like, meant for you.
Yes.
We'll talk about it. But I do. I want to talk about it at length.
Yeah, I don't write fanfiction. I used to when I was a teenager with the franchise that I hate to mention, and I have mentioned too much this month, so we're good. But I do a lot of fan art right now. So that's my thing.
And that's like fan fiction, but it's with pictures.
Yeah.
And that I can't do, so I'm, like, very impressed.
I just do queer fan art of stuff. Sometimes canon compliant, sometimes not. I did a Rose and Svetlana one recently.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was so good. And what's Sophie Nielsen liked
Sophie
it.
Nalise.
Yes.
Nalise liked it.
That was huge.
Listen, I don't think there is a Rose Lana fanfic that has not crossed my desk. Like,
I've read them all.
Yeah, I am just
read them all. I read a Yuna Svetlana one the other day.
A what?
Oh.
A Yuna Svetlana. Rare pair.
Okay, all right.
Rare pair.
Amazing.
For sure.
It was so good. It was like Yuna and David had an open relationship. because after like Shane came out, Yuna started like teaching herself about being gay, and then she was like, I think I'm bisexual, and then she was like, David, I want
Hell
to be in a
yeah.
relationship, and then David's like, yeah, you can fuck women, and so she fucks Svetlana
Because they're so compatible.
All right, good for her.
And you know what? Yeah, no, Yuna, mommy, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hi, Amanda popping in here with the FOMO to say that I have never written fanfic. I have tried to write something before when I was in middle school, like early 2010s. I was young and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just wrote something. It was on Wattpad. I was on Wattpad in its heyday in the early 2010s, like 2012 to 2015-ish was when I was around in middle school, and when I was on Wattpad a lot, and like fanfiction.net and stuff before I found AO3, because to my little tween-age brain, I couldn't fully get into AO3 just because like the interface confused me. Now obviously I can navigate AO3 like it's nothing, but when I was younger, I just found Wattpad to be easier. And then I revisited, like, I don't know, sometime over the pandemic, I was looking for some fanfic of something, and it's all ads and bad interface, and it's gone so horrible over the past decade or so. But anyway, all that to say, I love fanfic so much. I could not write it. I am someone who, like, if you asked me what certain characters were doing in a specific situation, I could tell you. Like, if you asked me what Percy and Annabeth would do in this setting, or how they would respond to, like, whatever question, but I can't come up with, like, the skits I see on TikTok, or, like, an AU, or something like that. You would have to, like, give me a prompt that I could get into those characters' heads and respond to. I feel like I could potentially do that. But also, I think the skits on TikTok are really fun. I'll give them a shout here. I love seeing fanfic, because Lau mentioned fan art, and it's just another way of, like, transforming these characters and playing in this sandbox. I think that skits on, it doesn't have to be TikTok, it can be Reels or, like, Twitter, wherever else you're seeing it. I think those skits are so fun and so creative and can be such different ways to see things. Like, one of my favorites right now is the Unwilling Ascension of Percy Jackson characters. I'll link the TikTok creator / wherever else they post it in the show notes. But it's like the campers at Camp Half-Blood start worshiping the Seven, and they start, like, ascending into God. It's a whole thing. It's great. But I think things like that are really interesting and cool and fun alternatives to fanfiction, and like I said, ways to transform these characters into a different medium. But it's just like another version of a sandbox, and I wanted to shout that out here while I was thinking about it. Okay, back to the normal show.
Okay, what are we, like, when you, like, I know this is more us than Lau as so much, but what do you, when you, like, find a fic, what are you looking for? Like, how do you pick a fic?
I think, so my tastes kind of evolve, like, as I get more into fanfic for a certain fandom. So, like, when I first start out for, like, a new fandom, I'm always gonna go for, like, missing scenes, or, like,
Yes.
a post-canon, or, like, things that are just sort of tangentially off what I already have consumed. And then I will start, like, the first filter I will put in, I'll do like by kudos, and I'll, like, look for, you know, what's the most popular, and then I will filter out soulmate AUs, and I'll read, like, as many of those look good, and then I'll start getting into more different things. So I'm typically looking for something that has, also, it depends on the relationship. If it is a relationship between two women, like, I will read whatever. I will read porno plot. I will read, like, again, there's not a Rosalana fic that has not crossed my desk. I will read whatever when it is women. When it is, like, two men, or if it is, like, heterosexual, I typically am looking for something that's got a really good plot that interests me, and like, if they have sex, great, I can kind of take it or leave it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm big into soulmate AUs. Like, I don't know if you could tell that about me based on how much I've said it, but
yeah,
kind of whatever strikes my fancy. But I'm not really, I don't know, I feel like I could be more wild with it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I get it. I have, like, I think I have, like, a little bit of anxiety about reading unfinished fics. Just from my historical history and fandom. So right now, like, usually what I do is I, like, look through the Shane Ilya tag and try to only find, like, one shots, but I'll read anything. Like, I'll read, like, fluffy stuff, and usually it's, like, whatever the summary is. If the summary's good, I'll read it. Like, if I don't like it, then I just, like, back out of it and go find a new fic. I have been reading, unfortunately, a lot of Omegaverse right now. Shane Hollander has bottom eyes. I don't know what to tell you, and it's just been happening a lot.
I've been getting a lot of Omegaverse, like little one-shot snippets on my Twitter feed recently, and every single time I think of Lauren, because Lauren and a couple of other people I know are the only ones I know that are into Omegaverse, and I just think of Lauren every time, and I wanted to put that out there.
So that's been a big one, but I think like something I always look at is like recreational drug use. Like I just want to see that experience, especially since Shane is like so anti that in like the like universe, I think.
We're like, get that boy high and get that boy pregnant.
Yes, no, literally. That's all I want. That's all I want.
I think Hudson would approve of both.
Yeah,
of those
exactly.
things.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't need Hudson knowing what I want. I don't need him knowing that I want him to be pregnant and smoke weed. But that's all I want.
But he probably agrees.
And you know what? He probably agrees because Ilya Rozanov wants to get that man pregnant. Shane Hollander's search history is like, can I get pregnant from eating too much cum?
If Shane could get pregnant, Ilya and Shane would have more kids than Hayden. And
Yes!
I stand by that.
Yes!
And I stand by that. I've also been reading a lot of trans Shane Hollander fics. And like
there is a really good, it is not finished. There's a really good like impreg trans Shane.
Yes! Is it?
Okay.
Is it upper body day to day?
Yes.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. Clown to clown. Shut up. No, literally, like, we are the Sidereal gift right now. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of trans Shane Hollander or like stealth Ilya fics. Those are also really good. You know, Shane, no matter what gender he is a bottom.
Can confirm, when Lauren came to visit me, I asked for a list of their favorite trans Shane and like mpreg fics, and I am obsessed. I've been slowly making my way through them. I have like 3 other books I'm reading right now, so my fanfic reading is I'm a little behind. Okay, don't come at me, I'm a little behind. But I'm also really into trans because I love the idea. I think it would work. I've been reading a couple cryptic pregnancy Shane. I've read a couple of those where like Shane doesn't know he's pregnant, he has the baby, and that's a whole thing. Like I literally put one in a text to speech like website thing because I was like, wait, I'm busy right now, but I need to read this, and so I just like show all fic copy pasted it into a text to speech because I was like, I will just listen to this right now, even if it's a bad robot voice. I need this right now in my veins. And so I have been asking Lauren for some. But I think if I had to look for something right now, if I'm looking for Hollanov, I'm most likely looking for like trans Shane. I'm good with trans Ilya, but my preference is trans Shane, or trans both of them, honestly. And some of those like little Twitter threads that I've mentioned, the little like snippets of ideas people have, I've seen them both. Where I've seen one where like Ilya knows how to cure Shane's vaginal atrophy, and Shane is like, how do you know how to do that? And it's because Ilya is stealth. That's a whole thing I've seen. Yeah, no, I'm so here for that agenda, and I love hearing that my companions are on the same page as me. Pun not intended. At some point, I do want to get into trans femme Hollanov, where both of them are trans femme, but I haven't quite made it there yet. I've seen a lot of really good fan arts that I enjoy looking at that I think are really cute and really slay, but I want to get through some trans mask Hollanov before I get into trans femme. I don't know why, but I just do. I could do both. I don't know why I don't just do both, but like I said, my reading is slow. I have like 7 tabs open across different devices that I want to read, but I need time. So I think once I finish one of the fantasy books I'm reading, I'm going to put that on pause and try to figure out a more cohesive way to read fanfic that is also I could do audio and also not.
I've read like Shane getting pegged fics. Those are hot. So I love like, I think my thing is like, I will read canon because like I love hockey. So like I enjoy reading the canon, but I think one of my kind of gripes with this fandom is they don't know hockey like I know hockey. And so it's very like, I used to read in the hockey RPF and like those bitches know hockey because they're talking about real hockey players.
They're talking about hockey. Yeah. See, I'm like anything with the Ottawa Centaurs post the long game, or anything with like the Ottawa Centaurs in the long game, honestly, because I'm like, Ilya, be friends with your team. They're so lovely and wonderful. And like Wyatt Hayes is everything to me. Like any Wyatt Hayes centric, like the Wyatt Hayes POV tag on AO3 hates to see me coming. Like,
no,
I love Wyatt Hayes.
I love him. The fics that like I can't get around are like, I just can't get around like any threesome fics, and I like can't get around like there's this one where it's like Shane Hollander is a slut, and I love the premise of that fic, but like Shane and Hayden fucking is like weird to me. Like I'm like
I'm fascinated by the people that are shipping Hayden and Cliff Marlowe.
oh
Wow.
yes, I'm also fascinated by that because
I
Wow.
haven't read any, but I'm like, that's
Huh.
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued. And I think like the reason why I don't read those fics is just because I know like Shane is he's not a little party bottom. Like he's not a pass around party bottom. Like
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
a bottom for one man.
and one man
and
only.
one man only. Like, I mean, that's the whole kind of point of Heated Rivalry. It's like he hopes that it could be a woman, and once he realizes it's not a woman, he's like, okay, any other man, but like literally no one does it for him the way Ilya does, and like that's the whole thing.
No, literally. So
David did ask, were there no other men in Montreal?
no, literally. were there no other
Probably they
men?
were, but none of them were Ilya fucking Rozanov. Okay?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Okay, let's get into our fics.
Yes.
I would like to caveat that we did reach out to all of the authors and we did get permission to talk about these fics, just because I know that like privacy and like there has like a long storied history of privacy in fandom, and we just wanted to make sure that it was okay when we brought them to a larger audience who maybe doesn't interact with fanfiction in this way. So we're gonna start with Mal, and the fic is called Please Leave a Message.
Yes. And this one may be familiar. It is the most kudos Hollanov fanfiction. It is one of the first ones that I read for this fandom. And it is a texting fic. I mean, it did not invent texting fics, but I feel like I am reading texting fics in a way that I have never before for any other fandom. And I feel like it started with this one.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it is sort of it's one of those like cornerstone fanfics for this fandom, I think. And so that's why I chose this one opposed to the many other wonderful texting fics. Like, cannot recommend Secret Society of Stick Handlers high enough.
Oh.
Love that series. I'm blanking on every other text fic I've ever read, but like
and I think this is also like a caveat to social media AUs, which is also really big in this fandom. I've never read social media AUs like this before. And I think like the like original content is just like very convertible to like social media. Like especially since like in the TV show they do have Twitter and like they have people talking about them. And so I think that like having that in the any fanfic that has like Stan Twitter reacting to Hollanov, I'm there for
incredible.
it.
I think it's because like I spent so much of my life like on Stan Twitter, and like I was in the trenches shipping Larry Stylinson in the One Direction days, you know. So like I was like, this speaks to me and my experience.
No, and exactly, you are so right for that.
All right, so the story is a series of text conversations with the Montreal WAGs and their group chat. And so basically in the fanfic, Ilya is added as Lily to the Montreal WAGs chat. I believe this author has said like, you know, the timeline is sort of a general idea because like this wouldn't actually happen because it's pre-Shane's concussion when it happens. So the author is kind of like, it's all vibes. Like this is based on nothing. And I'm just like, I'm here for it. And so... you know, he gets added to this group chat and gets to know the girls up until the concussion, and in which he sort of has to reveal himself to Jackie. So they all think that he is this woman named Lily, but actually he is Ilya Rozanov.
Yes.
And so there's sort of like a mix of characters, like canon partners that we know for some of the characters like Jackie, Pike, wife of Hayden, and then several other women who are dating or married to various members of the Montreal Metros.
Can we just get a shout out for Rachel, who was with Louis Marron, who doesn't play for the Montreal Metros anymore? She dumped, like, I'm quoting, she dumped his ass because he sucks. And he's now a left wing for San Francisco, but they kept her on the chat because they love her.
Yes, incredible.
No, exactly.
That's girls girl behavior.
That's girl behavior. Like I fully like, and this is how I envision every WAGs chat for WAGs or wives and girlfriends for current NHL teams. Like, I'm like, no, this is exactly what's happening in the WAGs chat.
I hope so.
Like, you know, first of all, those girls all show up to the game in coordinated outfits.
Well, yes, as they should.
As they should. But they like get specifically tailor-made clothes, like, for the game to show that they are the WAG. And like, this to me is like peak hockey culture. Like, just them, I love them like bitching about the hockey team and the games and like Shane's shitty mood and like just
Yes.
like I love all of it. It's so good. It's such a good little spot.
And the whole thing with the socks.
Oh, the socks.
And I have seen this like pop up in several fics since. And I'm like, I feel like this author like created something, this like headcanon that Shane will not fuck Ilya unless he picks up his socks. And I love that.
No.
Listen, as someone who is married to a man, TM, the socks are like, and this is a very like clean man. He hates something the organized, like aesthetics are all to him, but socks are on the floor. Like, you have Shane, he's just like Shane in many regards, but the socks are gonna be on the floor, on the sofa, on the bed, everywhere but where they should be.
Yes.
So I felt seen by this fic.
Yes. No, I mean, I think I love these like little slice of life, and it's like it feels like very montagey, you know. It's like very much like just small snippets of their lives, and I always love when a fic is able to like do that.
I also love when a fanfic kind of doesn't over-explain things to you. It just sort of relies that, like, we all know the source material, like, we know the events of this, and so I'm not going to go through all the events, but I'm going to, like, give you these things that are happening as the events are going on, and, like, trust that you can fill in the blanks, and, like, I think that's part of the fun of fanfic.
Listen, we love a text that trusts the readers to fill the blanks. You know, like, and in this day and age, we need texts that make you make connections that are not given to you in a sequence.
Exactly. It's giving you media literacy, babe.
Yay! I just want to say poor Sarah, who hates the play of beard.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
love
also
that.
hate the playoff beards, truly. I'm sorry. They're bad. They're so bad, bro.
Yep.
That's why I only watch women's hockey.
Oh, and you know what?
Fair.
And that is a very new discovery. I could not care less about hockey up until watching Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
And because like I grew up in Texas, so it's like not really a thing. Like I grew up watching baseball and football, and like those have always been kind of, I mean, baseball more than football, but those have always been the sports that I follow. And then after this, I was like, hockey's kind of fun. I kind of like hockey. So.
Wait, hold on. Hockey's kind of, you know, she kind of...
And they let girls play?
And they let girls play?
And the girls also get into fights, and I get to, like...
And they kiss?
Okay.
And then they go...
And yes, and the girls kiss, like, I love... I
love lesbians.
The PWHL is. I love lesbians, exactly. Like, I went to a game between the New York Sirens and the Ottawa Charge, and a friend of mine was like, "Did you know 2 of the players are engaged?" It's like Heated Rivalry in real life, because like one of the players on the Charge is engaged to one of the Sirens, and I was like, "This is the best day of my life."
This is the best day of my life. No, literally.
Hope they kiss, and they didn't, but they should.
Wait, oh my god, popping in to say that I am also a PW fan, PWHL. I have decided that I'm a Fleet fan. I don't know if I've officially announced this on the pod yet. I have the Boston Fleet and Minnesota Frost game up on the side while I edit, but just women are so much better than men, and the men suck and the NHL sucks, and the PW is so much more accepting to everyone, and there's less teams, so it's easier to get into it, and it's really fun. And I don't know if I also said this on the pod, but during the Olympics, I know that there are players engaged, but when Hillary Knight got engaged to her fiance, the speed skater, I have like a second level of connection to her. Like, my manager's husband knows the speed skater that got engaged to Hillary Knight, who is the captain for the Seattle Torrent, and so that's just really cool. But yeah, shout out PW, go check them out. The playoffs are happening soon. Everything is free on YouTube. Shout that out right now. Everyone is so cool. There's a lot of queer players. I discovered the app is really neat. They have like a zine in there that talks about each team and also has a section on all of the queer players, which is so awesome. The NHL would literally never, as we've said. So shout out to PW. Go watch.
I love the fics when everybody's like, oh my god, how, like, I guess this is like a little social media. It's like, how are Ilya and Shane going to be able to be on a team together and be husbands? And everybody's like, people in the PWHL do it all the time. Like, I love
No, exactly.
that little moment. I love this fic. I return to this fic a lot. Please leave a message. I just like
Yes.
all the social media AU ones, so, or the texting fics.
I loved it.
I think people are getting really creative with skins too on
Oh my god.
I've ever owned. Like, I've seen
No,
some
people
really...
are like coding shit. I read one where Ilya and Shane were sending each other letters, and like they had actual letters that you could like
Actual
click on,
letters?
and then it opened, and I was like,
No.
"What the fuck?"
No, literally, I was
Wow.
like, I'm gonna, because it's all HTML coding. So like, as
Mhm.
long as you learn that, like, you could
I
do
was like,
anything.
I didn't even know this was an option. I've never seen fanfic like this in my life.
Oh my god, thank you, Mal, for bringing this up. I was gonna mention it, but the coding I've seen recently has been nuts. I saw a full, like, embedded, like, fake TikTok with a comment section you could open and scroll. Like, you could, like, click all of these buttons and interact with it in, like, actual Twitter threads. Because sometimes, like, they'll do, like, a faux interface where it's, like, bolded to show, like, whatever, like, different, like, font things. Like, that's fine. But I've seen full, like images and GIFs and all sorts of different things embedded in it that you can interact with. And I think the interacting aspect is just blowing my mind. Like, GIFs are one thing, like how you can do on Tumblr or something, but a full scrolling through a TikTok section, and it's not even like the whole thing takes up the screen. You can literally scroll within the fic on it, and these people are just so smart. And I can code like a little bit, but this is just nuts. Or like I used to do like my Tumblr whatever website, and this is blowing everything out of the park. Like, we are in such a new age for fanfiction, and it's awesome. Like, if this was here when I was in Our Flag Means Death, huge SMAU, like, Sphere, oh my goodness gracious, that would have gone so triple platinum, Broken Containment, because those people were writing crazy style, and if they had this kind of, like, tech, like, this was, what, 3 years ago? Like, I'm sure someone could have done it, but it just, I haven't seen it until now.
I did write, like, my Jughead Betty fic, did have, like, social media components to it, and had, like, I love when a story is, like, told from a, like, third-person perspective, but it's, like, a journalist,
Mhm.
and, like, the journalist is writing the story about Ilya and Shane. Like, there's been a lot of those in this fandom.
Tweets of a beat reporter, love that.
Oh, there's, like, one where Alexi goes to, like, TMZ or something and is, like, trashing Shane.
Wow.
Yes. Shoot, I wish I remember what that one was called.
We'll be linking everything, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Okay, Smash Pass. I love Smash.
Smash.
Period.
It made me laugh.
Okay.
I would read it over and over and over again in my life. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
No, I love that. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is mine. It's called I'll Believe in Anything. Okay, so the fun story about this is I found this fic one afternoon, and I was maybe getting high. And I consumed all of it in, like, one sitting. And it had, like, 2 chapters to go. Like, it was, like, 10 out of 12. And I got on our threads, and I just consumed, like, the most amazing fic. It makes me want to, like, get up and throw my phone across the room and cry and everything. And then I set my phone down. And then I went and watched a hockey game for 3 hours. And I came back with 300 notifications. And everyone was like, what the fuck is this fic? You're baiting us. Give us the link right now. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry I got high. And I watched a hockey game. And I think I ate dinner, maybe. This fic, like, blew my mind. So the story is Ilya plays for an ECHL team, which I have a special place in my heart for ECHL fics because, like, some of my favorite hockey romance fics just in general are about the ECHL. And so Ilya is, like, not a superstar NHL player. He's just a little guy. And ECHL players notoriously get paid no money. Like, they make like 40 grand a year, maybe.
Whoa.
Like, they don't make any kind of money. And so Ilya has, like, supernatural connections, and so he has started an alternate career on the side with his 2 little friends, Bood and Troy, and they go and investigate. They're, like, paranormal investigators. And in this fic, they decide to go to the cursed cottage in Canada where the 1980s hockey star Shane Hollander died tragically in a fire, and is contacted by Shane's ghost, who seems a little familiar somehow. Yeah, what were your guys' thoughts on this?
So you recommended this a long time ago. I think like when you read it, and I like read the description, and I was like, this is not something that I think I'm gonna be into at all. Like it's not for me. It's fine, whatever. And so I just like didn't really think about it. And then we were doing this, and you were like, so one of my fanfics has to be this. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna read the Ghost Hunter fic. I stayed up until 3 a.m. on a work night finishing this fic, like destroyed me. I was like, oh my god, I was like mad that I didn't read it sooner. I also sent it to one of my best friends, and I was like, so actually I think you have to read this. And she goes, whoa, this is kind of an out there concept. And I was like, no, I know, but don't make my mistake. Like, you have to read it. You have to read it. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's really good. And Amanda was the first one to read it, besides Lauren, in our little chat. And they were like, this is so good. And then I was in Boston. I was visiting my husband. And I was like, he's gonna work right now. My mom is doing her thing. I should read some fics. And then I texted everyone like, oh, sure, just wreck me with fics. Amazing. I am a mess with a ghost one, and now I have to go to dinner. And I had to wait to finish it like 2 days because I was like doing stuff with family.
Yeah, I loved this fic so much. Oh my god, I had to split it up into chunks because I wanted to savor it a little bit. I didn't want it to like go too quickly, and I didn't want to like just swallow it because I have that tendency to just swallow things and not process it. And so I like read it up on my roof, and it was really nice, and I like didn't know where it would go, so I was like, am I scared? Like, am I not? And I didn't end up getting too scared, but like some parts I was like getting, like I got goosebumps, and I was like, whoa. The writing was so incredible, and it is an out there concept, but I think like it just works so well. Like, this is one of those things where, like I was saying earlier, like if you gave me an idea, I could tell you how they could kind of respond. But this, I think the author said they had like dreamt it or something, like, or they had like dreamed something similar and decided to turn it into an AU. But like, this is something that I think they could write and turn into a full story and just change the names, like, or like change like the sport, or like change it, tweak it a little bit, take it a bit out of canon, a bit more out of canon, and you could make it its whole story, because I think this was a great concept. And this is something so unique to fandom and fanfiction, is you can take these established characters, we already know who they are and how they act, and put them in this like random ass scenario, or it's not that random, but like completely different from the established canon, and we have this beautiful masterpiece of this thing that tears you asunder in a matter of like less than hours. Like, literally within chapters you're like, oh my god, like I thought I had my heart handed back to me in pieces by the actual show, but this is like another level. And like, I thought Mal would really like this with like the soulmates thing, and yeah, I just thought it was really beautiful. It tied in some really, really cool aspects of like indigeneity and spirituality, and it took me to new twists and turns and levels that I had not anticipated. And this is like one of my favorite Hollanov fics, I think, ever. Like, it has now a special place in my heart, so shout out to Lauren for that.
It's literally so good. It has a really good twist in it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I think that was like I read a lot of fics that have twists in it, and I haven't read a lot of fics that have twists in it. I feel like one of the reasons why I always come back to fanfiction is because it's like very formulaic, you know, like I know that if it is a like tattoo parlor,
Florist,
flower shop AU, florist AU, like I know that they're like ultimately gonna get together. One of them's a tattoo artist, he's gonna design a floral tattoo for the florist, like, and then get flowers tattooed on him. Like, come on. But this one had a twist that I was like not expecting, and I was like, oh.
As someone who studies literature, like 10 years of studying it professionally, I was like, how is this author gonna get out of the corner that they just wrote themselves in? I was like, I don't know how they're gonna resolve this whole thing, because it is so beautifully calculated. And everything just falls into place in ways that I just didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
No, I was like, because it's tagged as like happily ever after. And so I was like,
right.
How on earth do you have like a Shane who played hockey in the 80s and 90s and like a modern day Ilya, and it's happy ever after? Like, I'm like, how do you do that in a way that doesn't feel cheap or like cheesy? And like it worked. It was
Listen,
crazy.
Mal, the way that I started, because I had to stop and I had to wait 2 days to finish it. The way it started, trying to figure out if we were gonna do something to the ectoplasm so they could touch, you know, like, because when I was doing
Go
like
sex.
my prelim exams for my PhD, I was reading a lot about like human, non-human animals, critical animal studies, and I did read like a lot on ghosts, and I did read a lot of like some states in the U.S. will have laws on real estate that like cover haunted houses and how like
Huh.
selling a haunted, like how you have to disclose a haunted house, but it had like a lot of theory on how do you make laws for something not everyone believes in and that you can prove with science. So how do you like, because if you're gonna buy a house, you get like a someone to check it for like structural issues, for pests, but do you get like a ghostbuster or something?
No,
So
literally.
I got really really technical into all the possible solutions that I can find on.
No, and like the cliffhanger at chapter 9, I'm just gonna read a little bit of this fic. It's not gonna let you know a lot, but this one where it's like, did you get sick? Is that what happened? Shane buried his head into Ilya's chest. No. Tell me, please. You, Shane breathed, teardrops still clinging to his eyelashes when he lifted his head to look at him. You got sick, Ilya. And then ending the chapter there, and I was like, I'm gonna walk off a cliff.
This was the crossover between Heated Rivalry and Fellow Travelers that I had no idea I needed. Like,
Right.
yes,
And like it is like it's so well researched.
yeah.
It's got like I feel like the stuff around like the lake, like that
Mm,
kind of stuff is really interesting and well researched. I
Yes.
feel like the historical parts of it are well researched. Like this is
the
everything I love about a
language,
fic, and I
Yeah.
like
yeah.
like the way I just picked it up on like a fucking Tuesday afternoon and was
Mhm.
like, all right,
That's the fun with fanfic. It's just like some days you just randomly come across something that like fucking wrecks you.
Yeah.
And it's this also happened to me like 2 times in the last few weeks. I have had an almost all-nighter finishing a fanfic. The other one is this fic in which Ilya kind of accidentally on purpose starts an underground gay mafia in the NHL trying to get like players to make a pact to come out if they win the cup.
yes,
I'm fucking obsessed with this fanfic, and every time it updates it like makes my day because I love this fanfic so bad. And I just like I need more people to read that, but like I stayed up all night reading this fanfic, and then I had to like drive 3 hours the next day, and I was like, so I'm probably gonna die in the car, but like
no,
the fanfic was so good that I needed to keep reading.
exactly.
But yeah, those are both ones that I added to my like spreadsheet of fanfics
Amazing.
before I was even like halfway done with the chapters. I was just like the ghost one and that one, I was just like, I've read what I need to read, like this is going on my recommendation spreadsheet.
No, literally, so good. Let's switch to your other fanfic because, like, I feel like this one is kind of soulmatey, and then I know yours is definitely a soulmate AU. So let's switch.
Before we switch to that one, I just wanted to shout out to Miles' comment on the outline. Like, honestly incredible the way this uses your background knowledge to make you feel things. And yes, like it's
Yes.
making you go back to the images of the series, to the passages of the books that you know by heart, and you
Yeah.
imagine this cottage, and the cottage has been consumed by fire, but you have
Yeah.
the cottage in your mind because you have reheated
Yeah.
it so many times, so you feel nostalgic about it.
Yeah, and like the idea that Shane in the 80s like may not have had Ilya was like spookier than the ghosts
Yes.
to me.
Oh,
Like, and I was
I
like,
was like-
wait, like this sense of wrongness that I
Uh-huh.
had reading
Yeah,
this
something
thing.
is
I was
wrong.
like,
Something is wrong.
I was like, something is missing here, and like there's
Uh-huh.
this mystery. Like, what happened to Shane Hollander? Like, how did all of this happen? How is it connected to Ilya now? Like, just truly, this fanfic, like. If it wasn't so tied to like the source material, I would be like, I think in a couple years we could see this as like a published book. Like it is that good.
Mhm.
But I also
Yes,
think like
it's-
the reason it works is because you know the story that
Yes,
it's based on.
yeah.
Like
Yes.
it works as a fanfic. I don't know that it works as a book without like major revisions and things.
Definitely.
But like
Yeah, for sure. It reminds me of I read in Raylo that's like my curse ship is I read Raylo for a while, but there was this fic there that is called Landscape with a blur of conquerors, and I actually interviewed the author for part of my master's thesis. And like I think she's in the process of turning it into a book or something, or a media rights, but I'm like, so much of that story is like deep in Star Wars lore that I feel like it's going to be really hard to separate it out unless you make it like a historical period, which then ruins all of the space politics,
Right.
which is the best part. So, but yeah, no, I smash or pass on this fic on I'll believe in anything.
Smash.
I mean, it is absolutely a smash.
Absolutely a smash. Okay, let's go to Mal's second fic, which is You and I Might Just Be the Best Thing.
Yes. I mean, I picked 2 fanfics that I read pretty early on in my fanfic journey for this ship. And as I said, I am a slut for a soulmate AU. I love a soulmate AU. So this is a soulmate AU. It is a story in 2 parts. One is Shane's point of view, one is Ilya's. And so it's pretty canon compliant. There are some changes more towards the like long game part of the story. But in this fic, they are soulmates, and soulmates kind of have this urge to collect things that their soulmate needs. And so as they're like going through their lives, they occasionally will get these like urges to collect something that their soulmate needs in that moment, even before they know each other. And I've never read a soulmate AU like this. Like, I feel like typically you have like, oh, soulmate marks, like we touch each other for the first time and we get marks, or like we have names on each other, or we have, you know, we speak each other's languages, or we trying to think all the other things, like we only see in black and white until we meet, or like whatever. So like this was a brand new soulmate AU to me, and I was just like fascinated by the way that they kind of did this, and the way it starts with Shane's POV, and he's like collecting things for Ilya throughout their lives, and then you get like Ilya's point of view, where you see like why he needed these things in his life, and then also the things that he is collecting for Shane, and sort of how they come to their separate realizations that they are each other's soulmates. Well, how they come to the realizations that the other person is their soulmate, and then like later down the road realize that the soulmate ship is mutual. But yeah,
in the canon we get them not talking about feelings to each other, and we keep that in this fic. It's like they just won't be honest. They were just like, what if I'm not his soulmate, so I'm not gonna bring this up because it's gonna be awkward.
Right.
And then the like, I don't have to tell him that he's my soulmate. I can just like start giving him the things that he needs that I'm like getting the urge to collect, and I don't have to say it because like he'll pick up on clues, knowing that Shane Hollander has never picked up on a clue in his entire life that wasn't actually on the hockey ice. So yeah, and also Shane's just desire to kind of justify everything to himself in a way that like means that this doesn't mean what he thinks it means. Like,
bro, he's baby. He's so baby. It's so funny.
I love Shane Hollander so dearly.
I love him so much. My little anxious bean. No, I love this fic. I like you said, Mal, like I've never read a soulmate AU like this. Like I've always read like, oh, we have similar tattoos, or we speak the same language, or, you know, whatever. So I think it was a really interesting take on that. And then I think the companion piece to it, which is Ilya's perspective, is also very cutesy, and I also love that one too.
The bear bandages. I cannot stop thinking about that.
The bear bandage. The cigarettes? Shane Hollander buying cigarettes?
Yeah, Shane. Yeah.
No, Ilya buying Viagra.
Viagra when he can't get it up with Rose. Incredible.
No, it's so funny. Also, Ilya knowing the whole time.
Yeah.
But the Viagra, like,
because the only thing he's collecting is like hockey stuff, and he's like, my soulmate doesn't do anything but play hockey.
But I love how confused he is with the Viagra. He's like, Shane Hollander doesn't need this at all.
But I mean, I also think that's a good way of showing like kind of the differences in the way that they were raised, like between like collecting the bear band-aids for Ilya because he needs that like childhood comfort, because like that's not something that he's getting at home, versus like Shane, who never needs anything like that because he has everything he needs from his parents. It's just sort of like hockey related stuff that he needs occasionally because he's like running out of tape and
Right.
Imagine having
No,
a
exactly.
hyperfixation.
Yeah, well,
Like-
couldn't be me.
Couldn't be
Yeah.
me.
I've
Literally
never
could not be me.
fixated on anything in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, literally, I've never.
I'm not currently
hyperfixating.
like hyper fixated on Hollanov fanfic in a way that like I don't want to do anything else, and like when somebody makes me do my job at work, I'm kind of like, I wish I could be reading fanfic.
No, literally. Quite literally. Quite literally.
I also thought this fic had a way of angst in a way that was like kind of like quick, but it was a different angst from the previous fic. This angst was like kind of like the long game where like they're not like Lau said that they're not communicating, and so you're like, no please stop, don't leave, come back, and then it's like the relief is, oh, it's insane. It's sometimes it feels like doing drugs the way I'm like, no, and, or like just the craziness for it. Like this one is definitely one that I swallowed. I really adored this fic. I thought it was a really unique take or a really unique viewpoint on soulmates. It was so funny, like they're saying with the Viagra, the hilarity was there, but also the heartbreak with the bandages, or like Ilya's mom, like getting to see that from Shane's point of view, and Shane doesn't know what's happening, but you as the reader with that background canon knowledge, you're like, oh shit, like I know what that's for. This was a really good one, and it's quick too. Like it definitely was less than an hour. Like it was kind of a one-shotter type beat, and Ilya's side was even shorter. So this one is up there with my recommendations. I mean, and that's partly why I made it on the pod, is like literally every time Lauren and Mal sent their recs, I was like, yes, exactly. I mean, it was only 4, but even then I had already read like 2 or 3 of them, and I was like, absolutely, exactly, 100%. These are phenomenal. Like this was just such like a good idea, and a really interesting perspective to take. And then I was thinking about like, oh my god, what would that look like for my life? Like if this was real, or if this was me, and what would this other person be? Yeah, I don't know. It was funny food for thought moment to think about, like, wow, what would that look like what does this look like in other ships? Like, where does this look like elsewhere? I think it's a really cool either writing prompt if you want to go write that for someone else, or if you want to think about what your life would be like, or if you are in a relationship, what would you be collecting for your partner right now? Like, I don't know. I think it's fun.
Okay. All right. So smash or pass?
Smash.
You all, Mal, our brains, the geniuses we are, picking these fics.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a single pass in this one.
No.
Although
I would
we have
agree.
one more.
We have
one more, which is my favorite title for a fic ever, because I love Rasputin by Hollanov.
It's a good title.
I used to do the Rasputin dance on, was it Dance Dance Revolution?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or maybe Just Dance. I think it was Just Dance. In my friend's basement, and then I would fall over every time I would do it. But this fic is called Russia's Greatest Love Machine.
Hell yeah.
It is a short story from Shane's point of view, where Shane encounters a man at the ESPYs who is just so happened to be famous Russian porn star Ilya Rozanov.
Hell yeah.
And Shane discovers that he's gay through meeting Ilya, and I love this fic. First of all, I've been reading so many Ilya Rozanov as a porn star, because he like, if he was not a hockey player, he would absolutely be a porn star.
You know what?
Like,
yeah. I can see it.
He's either like a porn star or a model, or like a race car driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna be one of those.
Or he's some guy working a really sad, like, police job to try to make his father happy, and then he leaves his police job to pursue his dreams of doing anything else.
Modeling, porn starring,
Yeah.
driving,
All of
F1
those.
cars.
Yeah.
At the same time.
All of the above.
All of the above.
All
At the same
of
time.
All of the above.
No, I feel like Ilya is very much like whatever. It didn't have to be hockey. Like whatever he could have done to get out of Russia, like he would have been doing. Like I think I have trouble reading ones where Shane is not a hockey player, because I'm just like, what else? What else would he do?
As we saw during the soulmate one.
Ilya can have a million other jobs, but like Shane Hollander hockey player on Instagram, like what? You can't take that away from him. Like that's
You can't. Although I did just read one where he is a doctor, and I think if he wasn't going to be a hockey player, he should be a doctor.
I could see it.
Shane at the
A
pit.
fanfic in which Ilya and Shane are doing like an interview,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know who wrote it. I don't know what it is, but They are asked in said interview, like, what would you do if you weren't a hockey player? And Shane spends the entire question being like, if I wasn't a hockey player, like, I don't know, like, what would I do? And then Ilya suggests that he would be a Zamboni driver to run over the people who got to play hockey instead of him. Incredible.
No, literally.
I need a giant buzzer that just says cannon when you hit it, because right here I'd go cannon, cannon, cannon.
It's like when they were going around asking NHL players, and they were like all the social media interns at NHL teams were like, what would you do if you were more athletic? And all the NHL players are like, if I was more athletic? Like, what do you mean more athletic? And then some of them answered, they were like, I don't know, I'd play like tennis, I guess. Bro, no, that's not the point of the joke. The point of the joke is that you can't be more athletic than a hockey player, because that's pretty fucking athletic.
Well, and I've seen people ask that question to like all sorts of professional athletes. Like, I saw someone ask that to like Simone Biles, who like, can you be more athletic than Simone Biles? Because I think the point is just to be like, for the person to be like, what?
I actually don't. I don't know. Nothing.
I would be like a demigod. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. How do we know Simone Biles isn't already? That's what I have to say.
Listen.
Real. Daughter of Zeus. She's happy in the air.
Oh, poor Simone Biles. That's just
All right,
so sad.
Listen. Okay, going back to the fic. Okay, first of all, the fact that Hayden knows who the porn star is so funny.
That cracked me up. I was like, why does Hayden know who Ilya Rosanov is?
I was like, you have Jackie, bro. Like, what is going on?
Listen, he loves a hotel room. What's he doing while he's...
And you know what? I thought he was just looking at pictures of Jackie, because that's what I would be doing.
Honestly, yeah.
Like,
why do you need porn when you have a wife like that, Hayden? That's my question.
Like, come on.
That is a very valid question.
No, I also thought that, like, Shane was so good character-wise. Like, he was just, in this fic, like, I felt like it was a very good, like, I think some people struggle sometimes getting into Shane's head a little bit, but, like, I don't know, I really enjoyed this fic.
I enjoyed it. I think I needed a warning, Lauren.
Oh,
because, yeah, reading this with my mom in the couch next to me, not the best idea.
Yeah.
Great idea to read it with my husband next to me in the bed. You know, like...
Right? Exactly. You're welcome.
Listen, I've been reading
you.
smut on the couch next to my mom since I was in the 8th grade, and you know what?
Yeah,
I will say the same thing about this fic that I told my mom when she found AO3 in my search history. I'm reading this gay smut for the plot. Because, like, honestly, that has always been true, because, again, I feel like a lot of fan works tend to favor, like, MLM ships versus women, just because the nature of fandom and all that jazz. And again, I need the plot to really get into it, and like I have to care about them to like care that they're having sex, you know. But when it's women, it's just like, hot. And I'm no better than a man.
I fear I am not.
But like this was not something that I think I would have like clicked on myself, just because I was like, well, is it gonna be all about the sex? But there was honestly like a great amount of plot and character stuff within this fanfic, and like I ended up really liking it. Like I did think that this one was going to take me the longest to get through, just because it's so different from like what I would typically read, but I flew through it. Like I was hooked, and I think, like, Lauren, I gotta trust your recommendations more often, because both of these fics I was like, this is not what I would usually read. I don't know that I'm gonna like it. And like both of them I was just like, this is really fucking good. So
listen,
I don't know.
I've posted so many for you to go through and look at.
I feel like I've read most of the ones that you've sent, though.
Okay,
so,
T.
It was just these two.
No.
Just these two, and now
just these two. And now I've read them. Now I've read them all.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I've dropped so many recently.
Yeah, I couldn't go through this fic without singing "Ra Ra Rasputin." So my husband, who loves that song, he was like,
"Are Juan and I the same person?"
Yes and no.
And this is the part of the show where I seduce Lau.
Yeah.
Good.
Mal, you have no idea how many times
Lauren has flirted with
me.
has flirted with Lau.
I mean, listen, what is life if you can't flirt with your friends a little bit? That's what
Right?
I always say.
Right?
Listen.
I agree.
Okay, smash or pass? Smash. Smash all the way.
Smash.
Smash.
I mean, I don't think
Definitely
we picked a
smash.
single pass.
No.
I mean, I think if any of them had been passes, we wouldn't have recommended them, you know?
I think
Like,
so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we would have been like, man, you know what? Actually don't read that one. That one was bad.
You know what? I am never reading a fic in this fandom without you two vouching for it. Like, I'm gonna go
Listen,
like,
I will send you my spreadsheet.
you.
There are
It's pinned on
hold
the
hold
Discord
let me see.
channel.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know
I think
that.
you have pinned it, yes.
Cool. There are 76 fanfics on my spreadsheet now.
Cool.
So lots of things.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. The Secret Society of Stick Handlers.
Yes.
And we will be putting I'll believe in anything.
I also will only read the Pete, like Garcia and Santos fanfic if Mal recommends it or Robert does. That's the only way.
I actually don't read that much Pitt fanfic right now.
Oh wait, I think this is Wattylicious'.
Oh, it's the other one? Oh,
Yes.
it's not mine.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Let me share mine then.
Yay.
Yes. Shout out to Wattylicious.
Yeah, no, that was a good spreadsheet. Did I not send my spreadsheet in the
How dare you? The channel has literally your name on it and you haven't shared your spreadsheet.
I didn't find a good spot earlier to put this, so I'm gonna put it here. But when Mal was like, I wasn't sure that I'd like it, but I actually really liked this fic, talking about Russia's greatest love machine. It reminded me of that one meme of the girl who like sips the drink, and at first she's like not like she's like ew, like repulsed by it, and then she's like actually not bad. Like you know, like the you know what I'm talking about, and you don't understand what I'm talking about. Maybe we'll include it in the teaser or something. Lauren, maybe you can find it. We can put it on the story with this. I don't know, but. I thought that was really funny because I was like, oh, I don't know if this feels like it's just going to be like porn with a little bit of plot or like porn without plot or something. I wasn't totally sure, but I thought it was really fun. It was really funny. It was a great exploration like into a bit of Shane's psyche, and I do feel like we got to see a bit of development, and I don't know, I thought it was a really fun fic. It was like lighthearted and not too serious and not too much angst, but a lot of the like, it is very like of the Shane, like show Shane, like Shane in the show where he's like curious about it, but we don't get inner monologue. We just like he's like just doing it, where he like just has a dildo, or he's like just doing things as a way of exploration. I thought that was really cool, and Ilya was as cocky as ever, and I thought that was really funny and really charismatic. And I just re-up everything that all of my colleagues said, especially what Lau said about only reading stuff if it's been recommended by other friends, because yeah, I have to be selective. Like, I don't have a lot of time. It's probably coming from Malshi or our fanfic channel that our friends recommended. Like, I fear that that's how I get my fics. And I appreciate it. I appreciate my friends vetting it for me because my time is limited. And when I do get little relaxation, resting time, I'm gonna choose what my friends think is best. Thank you.
Okay, well, that is our show.
Yeah.
That is our podcast.
Mal, where can we find you online? What do you want to plug? Tell us all the things.
So I have 2 podcasts. I am a part of a podcast that covers the Pit and also Heated Rivalry. It's called the Pitt Crew. And then our Heated Rivalry episodes are published like under the Pitt Crew, but as the Puck Crew. But you can find it all at the Pitt Crew. And we are on social media everywhere at Pitt Crew Podcast. And then I have a Percy Jackson podcast
Yay.
that is coming out less often than the other one because I'm very tired, but that's called Demigod Debut. You can find that wherever podcasts are cast, and we're on social media at Demigod Debut Pod. I like to yap on the internet. I don't know.
And recently, the Puck Crew was named as the inspiration for a fic
That is so true. Yes, we were. We got an email from a listener
called No You Didn't, I Love You So Much, and we will be tagging that in our show notes for you all.
Yes, honestly, I was like, oh my god, my life has peaked. I don't, like, if this podcast ends tomorrow, like, at least I can die knowing that, like, we inspired a fanfic. Like, some
Amazing.
nonsense I said on the internet, like, made someone want to write 17,000 words of
No,
Hollanov
literally.
fanfic. And, like, and it's good. It's good. Like, I really
It's
enjoyed
good.
it.
I read the first chapter earlier. I'm excited to read the second chapter later.
Listen, Mal, I'm not surprised. Like, you guys got me through so many, like, 7 a.m., like, going to teach a 7 a.m. class on Fridays. Like, the only reason why I could get up from my bed was because Pitt Crew. So it makes sense. It's a very good.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean we have a lot of fun yapping together and just general nonsense. This week's episode is a little unhinged, and I have to listen to it. I'm not quality control for that side of the podcast because Robert edits it, Camille listens to it, and then Camille edits the Puck Crew, and I listen to the Puck Crew as quality control before it comes out. So like we all have our
Yes,
Our
I love
jobs.
that. Yeah, we definitely do the same over here. So, but thank you so much for coming on our pod today. We really appreciate you.
Of course, I love to talk about fanfic.
Yes, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from you in the future about more fanfic. Keep sending the recs. We will keep reading them.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll keep finding them. I'll keep.
Amazing.
Again, it's literally all that I want to do. I just want to be reading Hollanov fanfiction all the fucking time.
Who needs
Exactly,
a job?
as you should.
know? Who needs a job? Teaching who?
At this point I'm sort of like do I need to be like is this affecting my life in a negative way? Like should I be seeking help or something? Like is this actually an addiction? Like am I okay?
I think you're fine. Listen, if you just do decide to go get a fanfiction PhD, let me know, because then that's like,
when you need an intervention.
that's when you need an intervention. Nobody get a PhD right now.
Nobody
it's the
should
worst
get a
time
PhD in the humanities league.
ever, actually. But there's your advice for the night. Thanks again to Mal, and we will see you all next week when we are discussing a really fun topic that everyone loves to talk about, aka racism.
Racism, racism, racism.
Hey, actually, our schedule's kind of changed, and next week we'll be on intersectionality, so stay tuned. It was a great discussion, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. Bye! Since Rookie Season is created by Lauren, Lau, and Amanda. The cover art is by Lauren and Lau, and Amanda is our editor. Thanks for listening!